Coaches, how would you assess game one and how things went out there?
It was good. I think we all got a little bit of a bad taste in our mouth for how things went, but you look at, after the game, it was, a lot of production and, a lot of points, but nowhere near where we want to be as far as just playing clean. You want to, for us, like I said, we judge games off of explosive plays and turnovers. Those are kind of the two factors that always decide football games. And, we were really good in one area and not so good in the other. And, a couple of them were just dumb fluke things, but it don't matter. You got to clean that stuff up because it'll get you beat in a bigger game for sure.
Saw Chase is back out there today. How's he progressing towards getting towards 100%?
He's good. He's he's been with us for a while now. Just getting him back rolling. It's been good though to see number 5 out there running around a little bit.
I'll give you another weapon. You were able to actually distribute the football the other day. You have to like to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big key, and what I think we try and do a good job of is we got a lot of different people that can play, and we got a lot of guys that can do good things with the ball in their hand, and we got to continue to find different ways to get them the ball. We got at every spot, really, every spot at receiver, every spot at tight end, a lot of good depth there, and we got to continue to do that.
It's kind of a unique week. ODU runs a similar offense to you guys, and they have a unique defense. So was that a challenge? Was that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's this type of defense is, we've seen it a couple times over the last couple of years, but it's a challenge. They make it really, really hard on you. They do a good job. DC over there does a great job coaching his guys. They play extremely hard. They're extremely sound in what they do. But it's for sure a challenge, and we got to do a great job just going out and executing the game plan and trying to do our best to go attack it.
You guys feel like the scout team has done replicating?
No, they're doing a great job. Coach Auer and Coach McManus and Coach Nichols, Coach Leo, they've done a great job of getting those guys coached up because it's like, it'd be like our defensive scout guys trying to get a triple option team going. It's just a different deal, and they've done a great job getting those guys coached up because you're not only talking about different scheme, you're talking about different techniques up front and on the perimeter, and so they've done a great job getting us the best look possible, and hopefully it'll pay off on Saturday.
With them running a 3-down lineman set and you guys running a lot of RPOs, does that have to change any rules for the offensive linemen when it comes to you don't want them working to that backer too quick and getting that ineligible man in that field?
Yeah, the nice thing about that is our defense. They give us all kinds of different fronts, all during spring ball, all during fall camp, and so spots are spots. You got to kind of hat some things differently, but for the most part, IDing up front, it's trying to stay basic in what we do so that we can always never get something that we're not prepared for, haven't seen before already.
How did it kind of stand out the way they were able to wreak havoc on the line of scrimmage last week in South Carolina?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at what they did last week. I mean, I've obviously been in that league the last 3 years, and I don't care what team it is, it's still the SEC, and they got after them. They got after those guys up front. I thought they were the more physical team. I thought they took it to those guys on the edge up front. And they made it hard. They made it hard on those guys to run the football. And so we got to do a great job making sure we're sound in our technique, sound in our scheme and what we're doing so that we give our guys the best chance to be successful.
How do you think Jake did game one out there?
He did really good. And it was something I didn't even think about until afterwards, but I had to remind myself that was his first live action in 2 years. And so but it was for everybody, offensively for us as a unit. There were 50 people on that side of the ball that we were all doing that for the first time together. And for that, to have the success that we had, I knew there was going to be some bad things that happen. Did I think there'd be 5 turnovers? No. But I knew there'd be some bad things happen. You're going to face adversity every week. It don't matter who we are or who we're playing. That's going to happen. But the thing I was most proud of was he never blinked. He made a couple bad decisions. I made a bad decision on one of them, and I hurt him. But he never blinked. He came out that second half and kept ripping it. And that is the most important thing for me, that he never flinched during the whole deal. And that's why he is who he is. He did a great job the other night, and there's a lot of things that he'll clean up from week 1 to week 2 and just keep stacking weeks and keep getting better and better.
From a personnel standpoint, how did you do in terms of getting guys in the game that you hoped you would before the game?
No, I thought we did a good job. We try and sit down before games and kind of have a plan of, guys we want to play and how many snaps we want to get them. And it changes week to week just based on, what we're doing. But after the game, just the distribution that we got from different people, the amount of snaps people were able to play, that's a big time positive to us because it's a long season. The more snaps that we can spread out between people, the fresher we'll be, the healthier we'll be, when it gets later in October and November and we're trying to go make a run at this thing.
The two deep on your offensive line doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of college football experience. How do you think they played in their first game? What will that do for their confidence moving forward?
I thought they were really clean. I really did. I thought they were really good in pass pro. We had maybe one breakdown up front as far as pass pro goes, and we didn't have any lost yardage runs that you would attribute to the O-line. It was a couple of quarterback decisions that cost us. I thought they did really good. The thing I was most proud of, and this is something we talked about as a unit, was just when that second offensive line got in there, their first snap of the game was from the -1 yard line, and they came in, ran the football effectively, and, into the game, we could have had a chance to go 99 yards on a really good drive. But I thought they did a great job just going in and executing, and that's what we try and tell those guys all the time, like, what you put on tape, that's who you are. And so just trying to build trust for us as coaches. When you get in the game, what are you going to do with it? And I thought, from top to bottom, not only up front but on the edges, thought those guys did a really good job with it.
Speaking of pass pro, how impressed were you with Jake the other night when he switched the protection up and was able to find a guy for a touchdown?
Yep, no, that's big time, especially after what things kind of had transpired. For him to just continue to be locked into what he's doing, knowing his job, knowing what to do when certain things happen, that's big time. It's a big time play, it's a big time check, and then obviously finishing it with just moving around the pocket and making a throw. But that's who he's been, and that's what's not surprising to me, and that's what's exciting to me is that if you can go eliminate some of those mistakes and just decisions, sometimes just trying to do too much, and that's every quarterback. Every quarterback wants to make a play. He's just got to stay within the offense and stay within what we're doing, and I think we're all going to be really pleased with how he continues to play.
Any talks with Jake about getting a slide more?
It's actually been an ongoing conversation. I guess he's never played baseball before, so he has no idea how to slide. So we've been watching some slide videos on YouTube, and hopefully he'll get to pull one out and show everybody how he can do it. So trust me, I would love to see some more sliding for sure.
With Dustin Hall's first game back at center in a while, I feel like some of the snaps maybe a little off. Is that something y'all worked on this week?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's cleaned up already. He hadn't had one all week, so I don't expect anything on Saturday. It was one of those deals where it just kind of became a deal in the game, and he hadn't been like that all spring, all summer, and so we just got it fixed this week, and it's actually what caused the fumble down on the goal line, which is frustrating, but. It is what it is. Sometimes bad things happen, but he's responded well to it, just like they all have, and he's fixed it, and it's not an issue.